My name's Alan. I'm Jennifer's dad. She got what she wanted with this weather and this venue, so it's brilliant. Well done. Welcome, everyone, and especially those who have travelled a long distance and from overseas, especially. I'd like also to take the opportunity to think about the people, friends and family who aren't with us today.
We wish to wish you all a hearty welcome to Matthew and Jennifer's wedding. We hope you'll have a fantastic time, and a big thank you to everybody for coming. Whether you're from England, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, California, it's great to see you all here and to share these special moments with you.
When we chose Jennifer's name, we like that name, but we do change it. So in other words, we couldn't lengthen it, but we can shorten it. So under normal circumstances, it's Jen. But if she goes a bit too far, like on her uni nights and her first year and her over partying, it becomes Jenny. But if she actually goes even further than that, we go back to where we started and it becomes Jennifer. But she couldn't say Jennifer when she was young. She was Fuffa. And I never used that name. I never had the reason to do so. Jennifer's very quiet to some people, but she knows what she wants. She's very determined. And, well, she does literally anything she wants to do. For instance, when she left uni, she had a planned trip to go to Australia with her friend. I won't explain too much, somebody may say more on that. But her friend who was going dropped out, so she went solo. And she did everything she planned solo, including jumping out of a plane, doing her parachute jump. Very briefly, so I don't cross over other people, what they're going to say is they revisited together in Australia, and so they both jumped out of a plane, but this time from 14,000 feet, wasn't it? Yeah, 14,000 feet. So if I may find out a bit more about that later. Welcome, Matthew, to the extended family. During our first meeting, now I've got to say this, sorry Emily, but I've been told to say this, is when we first met, we had an evening meal, and Emily sprayed Matty with drink over a funny conversation, something she said funny, I think it's about fish. I don't know what it was, but that was Matt's first acquaintance with Emily, and basically I was told to say that. So basically, Matthew has a very strong sense of humour. It's sometimes quite bizarre. What he does do is deliberately mislead you, and he reveals that he's misleading you gradually over time, and especially when he's guiding you around a place, a venue or somewhere, he will deliberately show you a tree and say, oh, this is a wonderful tree, or a monument or something like that. We go off following Matthew, and then we find we're back at the tree again, and that sort of thing. So watch what he's going to say later on, because whether you're going to believe it or not is another matter. But it's something he does do. What else are we going to say? Basically, all I want to say is that basically, if we can be upstanding, to toast to the new bride and groom. So to Matthew and Jennifer.
Our Matthew was a happy child. From the day he was born, apart from his intermittent tantrums, when he was about 2 years old. We just learned to ignore the turning purple when he was holding his breath and the banging on the floor. Recently, Matthew was watching a home video of this period, and he had the following comment: "What was wrong with me?" Well, we all know. Matthew has grown to be a wonderful young man with unquestioning integrity and strong values. He likes to think that he is our favourite son, but our other boys have something different to say in this matter. Right, Christopher Thomas? Matthew and Jennifer have been together since university, and when Matthew first told us about his new girlfriend, we thought he was imagining it. But it turned out to be very true, and has brought us to today.
Jenny, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our marriage
and a symbol of my love and commitment.
and a symbol of our love and commitment.
Just pop that ring. Good, it's on. Jenny, would you like to take Matthew's ring? Lovely, thank you, Chris, for your texting. Pop that on. So, Matthew, I give you this ring
Matthew, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our marriage
and a symbol of my love and commitment.
and a symbol of my love and commitment.
Something to remember in your future, guys, is that love, trust and understanding are the keys to a successful and happy marriage. We are very happy to officially welcome Jennifer to our family, and we wish both of you all the happiness in the world for your future together.
So it's going to be quite difficult to follow up on the dads. Thank you for your kind and unkind words. Now, to our bridesmaids and groomsmen for giving us such a great hen do and stag do. Now, obviously I wasn't there for Jen's, but I heard the hen do was very well planned by Jen's lovely maid of honour, Emily, and my brothers, actually, my best men, they threw my stag do, so it was meticulously planned. And it was actually a few days before the stag do. I didn't know where I would end up going, and so they let it slip on a phone call that we would be going to Scotland. So I got ready, I got myself nice and ready, packed my bags, got some warm clothes because it was going to be cold. But it turns out at the airport, they said, you're going to be wearing a kilt, Matthew. So I wore a kilt to the airport. I arrived, turns out they actually swapped my bags at the airport as well, that Jen had packed with the groomsmen. So it's not often that I feel like I'm out of control of a situation, but once I swap my bag, I'd reach that point. As it turns out, being made to wear a kilt on a flight to Portugal will make you look very silly. Whilst Jen and her friends had lovely massages and relaxed, my groomsmen and friends, they did a great job of destroying my liver. So I'm sure you guys will all agree with me as well. Jen's bridesmaids look so great today. They've been just so good in offering help and offering support throughout the year. The same goes for my groomsmen, my army of groomsmen. You'll have seen them around today. Yeah, Jen and I are grateful for all of you. To my best men and brothers, they've been the pillars of support throughout my life. We talk almost every day, and I wouldn't change that for anything. I have no doubt that they will absolutely roast me for the upcoming speech, but that's okay. I would do the same if I were them. My next thanks will be to those who couldn't be here today, namely grandparents on both sides of the family. I know my grandparents would love Jen, the happiness she's brought to my life. So next thanks to our parents for being so helpful this past year. Both parents, they've been completely with us every step of the way, helping us get things organised. I was welcomed into the Howard family from the very beginning, just as Jen was welcomed into our Story family. We're forever grateful for everything that you guys do and have done for us. If we can be parents that can teach our children the values and morals that you have all taught us today, I would consider it a great success. I first met Jen over 7.5 years ago now. So I went out on a computer science night out. So being in computer science, you might be familiar that everyone who does it is a nerd. What turned it from a social night out of nerds turned into meeting a really beautiful woman at a bar, and from that was the point that everything happened. It's not something I would have imagined, but I will be forever grateful we both decided to go out that night. When we brush our teeth at night, we'll both start silly dancing. It's become a weird routine that we have, and we do it more than I'd like to admit. When she's sad, I know to give her a bar of chocolate and shut up. We'll always go out for walks together now. Castlecombe is a very popular choice for us, and on our walks we'll just talk about everything and everything. For the rest of the day, I hope you will all enjoy the food and drink and good company with my wife and I. I'd like to raise a toast to my beautiful bride, Jennifer, and a life of happiness together. Thank you all.
Matthew's already given us a warning, so bear with us.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Welcome. Hello, everyone. So for those who don't know me, my name's Chris. And I'm, if you haven't gathered already, the best looking story brother.
And for those that don't know me, I'm Thomas, the youngest of the three story brothers, and I'm actually the honest one.
So, as you're well aware, we have gathered here today to celebrate Matthew and Jenny's wedding. But our job today is to give you somewhat of an insight that you might not have actually been aware of. Being his brothers, and with the privilege of being his best men, which may actually be revoked after this, we have had access to a whole host of memories that Matthew might not be actually keen on us sharing.
But now that Matthew's locked away, we thought now's a good time to let you all know what he's really like. To truly understand Matthew, we have to go back around 23 years to our family home in Thornhill Crescent in Lisburn. Now, being the youngest, I was obviously the favourite child.
But the problem is, Matthew got used to having me all to himself and being the spoiled young one.
So, as Matthew often jokes, the worst thing that ever happened to him was me being born when he was 2 years old.
My first clear memory of this was when we were sitting having a bag of crisps on a skateboard, and I distinctly remember a very chubby, rosy-cheeked baby Thomas coming up to us on a separate toy car. We were all sitting happily, eating our snacks, until something caught our attention and we looked away in another direction. At this point, Matthew decided to seize this opportunity to place his foot on the front of Thomas's car and push him away down the hill. And of course, let's not forget about him trying to convince you that you were adopted. But to be fair, looking back now, I actually think he's got a point behind it.
Even though he's the only sibling that actually burns in the sun. I hope you applaud.
But in all seriousness, we couldn't be happier for you both, and contrary to the speech, for being the best brother that we could have asked for.
We wish you and Jenny a lifetime of happiness and can't wait to share many more memories with you both.
Now, Jenny, if you could please place your hand on the table. Thank you. And Matthew, if you could please place your hand on top of theirs, on top of Jenny's. Enjoy this moment, Matthew, because it's the first and last time in your marriage that you'll ever get the upper hand.